May I remind you that trading is risky and not suitable for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you can't afford to lose. Welcome to Quant Box Daily. Today is Monday, May 15th, start of a new week, start of new opportunities. Cool. So what is Quant Box? Quant Box is your global macroeconomic quant in a box. It's a fundamental tool that gives you a fundamental bias, a 1 week trial. It's just $7.90. Cool. So let's start where we finished off last week, our watch list. We had dollar yen on our watch list over here. We were saying we're looking for price to head up. We're looking for price either come down and close the support. And you can see there that happened over there. Alternatively, at a 21 EMA. So if you got in over here, or if you got in over here, then you were hundreds. Just to verify that in lower time frames, what you would have done is you would have seen price closing at the 21 EMA on the H1, gone to the M15, looked for 21 above 55. You probably, well, you could have seen there, you got price at support. You would have looked at you might have waited for this over here. I think this over here is a better signal. Okay, this over here, and you can look at the M5. You can see there no lower lows and lower highs, beautifully bullish. And then the M1, if my M1 is behaving itself, and it seems to be behaving itself today, good job. And you can see there's your M1 opportunity there. So beautiful, nice little trade there on the dollar yen. Fantastic. Not the most amazing trade, I can tell you that much, friends, but still, a pip's a pip, right? So in terms of the Aussie dollar USD, we were looking at this and saying, I want to pull back there. Price was over here. Didn't like price being at support and said, well, let's see what happens between price coming off support and closing there. Or alternatively, price breaks this support, and we then look to see what happens this week. We'll look at that in a moment. Euro dollar, we had price break the bottom of this range. We're looking for price to pull back to the bottom of the range. We haven't had that yet. We'll look at euro dollar in a moment. In terms of Aussie Swissy, same thing, looking for price to pull back to that resistance. We'll look at that in a moment. First, let's take a look at our biases. So coming through in the dollar pairs, we've got euro dollar coming through with the bias of stronger sell. Pound dollar, bias of sell. Dollar yen, we're in dollar yen at the moment. Dollar yen coming with the bias of buy. Dollar Swissy, bias of neutral. USD CAD, bias of buy. Aussie dollar USD should be a bias of sell, and Kiwi dollar should be a bias of sell. Okay, cool. There we go. So fantastic. All our dollar pairs are lining up together. Let's take a look at them individually. So Aussie dollar USD, right? So we're looking at this. We're saying to ourselves, we'd like to see a lower low, lower high. Okay, this is the pair we just looked at a moment ago, and you can see still stuck inside a range. Okay, we're looking for some indication of price breaking out of the range. So either price breaks the bottom of the range and pulls back to resistance, okay, or we make a lower high somewhere inside here. We're looking at price coming back to resistance. You can see that hasn't happened yet, so I'm going to leave my Aussie dollar USD alone. Let's see if we can get any opportunity on other pairs. Euro dollar, cool. So euro dollar looking at price to pull back to the bottom of that range. It's the pair we were looking at a moment ago. There it is over there. Currently opening up in a weekly M2. I'm a bear on this. I'm not looking for buys. So I'm looking for price to come up to resistance. I'm going to leave this daily chart where it is and wait for price to form an indication of bearishness. Pound dollar, we can see here pound dollar is now still kind of consolidating. I don't have any kind of bearish structure, no lower lows, lower highs to speak of. You can see there as well. Ultimately, looking for some kind of pullback to resistance. We're all the way down here at the moment, so I'm going to leave that alone, wait for that to get up, set up some kind of structure, indicates bearishness. Kiwi dollar, back inside the range. Okay, cool. And you can see there, no real structure. We haven't pulled back to resistance. I'm going to leave the dollar pair where it is at the moment. Just wait for that to give us some kind of indication of bearishness. For our USD CAD, just kind of ranging around, looking for a buy. We came down to monthly S1 earlier this month, and you can see right now not in a great position to do any buying. So there were opportunities last week. We didn't get higher lows though. Notice that. So no pullback to supports. So it's the same as the rest of the pairs. I'm looking for some indication of bullishness. What I'm looking for in pairs, guys, is I'm looking for lower lows and lower highs, higher highs and higher lows. That's what I trade. Trends are the way to go. It means that when we have charts that look like this, I don't do much trading, but that means that when charts aren't like this and they're moving very nice, then we got beautiful trends, there's significant opportunities. And it just keeps me tidy and clean and keeps my account very, very healthy. So that's the dollar pairs. Let's take a look at the yen pairs quickly. So looking at the yen pairs, we've got yen pairs coming through with Aussie yen with a bias of neutral. CAD yen, a bias of neutral. Euro yen, a bias of sell. Pound yen, a bias of buy. And Kiwi yen, a bias of neutral. So a lot of neutrality coming through there. One of my plays has been waiting for seasonality on these yen pairs, looking for yen strength, taking a look at what's going on with regards to the yens. You can see they're very much in a neutral situation. So neutral fundamentally, neutral technically. Going to leave these guys alone. Not much stuff coming across in the watch list for today, friends. CAD yen as well. They're going to leave that alone. In terms of euro yen, looking at that over there, you can see like no real structure. I'm looking for some indication of structure on these yen pairs. At some point in time, looking at the H4 time frame, you can see they're still very much sideways, breaking out of ranges, breaking back into ranges. And this 21 EMA, I'm not a fan of this 21 EMA because of this higher low over here. I don't want to see a higher low before I try and sell a lower high. So that's not very helpful. In terms of, okay, for euro yen is bullish though, fundamentally. So, but the thing is that like, I don't know, man. This resistance up here, support down there. Again, I'm looking for higher highs and higher lows. And also, if this is bullish, why is my 21 below my 55? Even though I wouldn't sell this, I'm not really keen on buying it either. So I'd like to see some structure. We are currently in position for a buy. I get that. Price coming down to support. But where we are right now, not the most favorable place to be buying. If price came down to support over here, fair enough. If price came back down to any support level, fair enough. Could be looking for a buying opportunity in that situation. Ultimately, what would be even better is if price can break above 21.55, pull back down, 21 above 55, and then take it up. I'd prefer that to not be roofs above price when I'm trying to buy it. I don't want to buy into resistance. And even though I wouldn't sell these 21.55 EMAs, the fact is that with volatility being what it is, the market might present some kind of resistance there that just ends up knocking you out of a trade and wasting your time and your money. So looking at pound yen, we can see here as well, just very much consolidating right at the moment. Not much to go about. Oh, it's unfortunate, hey? One of those days, one of those weeks. Not the most amazing swing pairs. This is Kiwi yen. We're in a bullish buy zone for the week, but I don't like the structure of this chart. Look at that beautiful, that range, like beautiful range. Look at that beautiful range, so beautiful. I'm not a fan of that. Completely out of position for a buy over here. You're sitting at weekly pivot points over here. I want to see things match up. Look at this lack of structure. You got like the top of the range over here, a lower high, then you got a higher low to that. It's just all over the place. So I'm going to leave that alone. In terms of our Swiss franc pairs, let's take a look at those. So Euro Swissy coming through with a bias of neutral. We've got Pound Swissy coming through the bias of buy. Aussie Swissy coming through the bias of sell. Kiwi Swissy coming through the bias of neutral. CAD Swissy coming through the bias of neutral. So majority, it's a bit of a mixed bag, really. Let's take a look at the charts and just see if there's anything I do technically with these pairs. So Aussie Swissy, what we got like support down here. Let's take a look at the daily. We got support down here. We got resistance up there. Price trying to make a higher low. We haven't got price at support. You've got price closing just below, just above support, and then this green candle coming up. I'm not a fan of that structure at all. Then CAD Swissy, also same kind of thing. Like, look at that chart. What does that say to you? That just says messy to me. Then we look at Euro Swissy, and also same sort of deal. We've kind of broken out of this range, but we haven't really pulled back to the top of the range. Price very, very close to profit-taking zones for a sell. We got support left-hand side. I'm not a massive fan of that. Taking a look at the bias for Euro Swissy one more time. Euro Swissy coming through the bias of neutral. Yeah, looks like it to me. So Pound Swissy, you can see they're also stuck inside a range. Not a massive fan of that. Like, I'm super fussy when it comes to taking trades. Like, you've seen this, you've seen the opportunities we've discussed in our watch list over the last couple of weeks, and some of them didn't work out, but we would have verified those anyway, wouldn't have taken those. But the ones that did work out, they all gave us indication of higher highs, higher lows, or lower lows, lower highs, and verified accordingly, just simple, straightforward stuff. Euro pound, you can see that's quite messy. Not interested in that. Pound Aussie, like, I'm not sure what's going on there. Got this higher low over here. Let's look at Pound Aussie from a bias perspective. Pound Aussie. And Aussie coming through the bias of neutral. Yeah, okay. You can see there, like we make this lower high, but then we make a higher low. We fail to close at support, but then we break this resistance. Like it's just all over the place. Look at this H4 time frame. Look at that sideways nonsense. Not interested in that. Let's take a look at pound CAD. Also, it's just rubbish. Pound Kiwi. So price coming down to support. Now price coming up over here. Like, where's my structure? Where's my higher highs and higher lows? See, price comes down, breaks this resistance, doesn't become support, doesn't test this as support. Like there's just like these moves down and up and like, I don't know. So just chill. If it doesn't make sense, I leave it alone. I don't pretend to be intelligent either. So I can see here Euro Aussie, also just structureless nonsense. Euro CAD. Euro CAD, let's take a look at the bias in Euro CAD. Euro CAD over here. Bias of sell. You see, like, can't sell over there, completely out of position. And definitely can't sell the 21 EMA. Look at the price holding support left-hand side over here. Like, that's not good. So I'm going to leave that alone. Euro Kiwi. What's the bias in Euro Kiwi? So look and see. That's why this thing is so cool, because once you understand, once you have a pair you're looking at, you can just jump over here and say, well, am I trading the right direction? Neutral. Okay. So neutral. What's my seasonality like? So it's bearish going for May. Okay. So you could trade this on bearishness. You are at a weekly M3. You haven't got any reason to believe it won't go down. So this could be an interesting opportunity for like a little scalpy scalp. Let's have a look and see daily pivots. Okay, cool. Let's put this on our watch list. Euro Kiwi. So we're going to get rid of these because we know we're watching this elsewhere. We'll discuss dollar yen in a moment in terms of how you're going to manage that if you're in it. Euro Kiwi. Let's watch list this. We'll put on daily pivot. And what we're looking for is we're looking for a lower, low, lower high. You can see their price currently at support. You want to see price at resistance. So you're looking for price to the structure to change. You can see on a lower time frame as well. You haven't got your 21 low, your 55. So you're looking at this, looking for a lower low, lower high pullback. And what you're looking at here is you're looking out for a weekly move. So Euro Kiwi, looking for price to come down off of here, potentially either back to here or to here. Okay, that's what you pay. That's what you're looking for. But you need to see a break of support and support becoming resistance. So you see this thing over here needs to do whatever it needs to do, and then you see a lower low and lower high, and then that's how you take it. And that can be on the H1 or on the M15. Of course, what I would do is I wouldn't, if I just get a lower low, lower high on H1, I might consider that, but I'd verify it down the line. Make sure M15, M5, and M1 are all bearish. Okay, cool. We have one for the watch list. That's right. So that's Euro Kiwi on the watch list. I'm not going to look at Euro ZOX. There's no bias for it on QuantBox. This is completely sideways. Just run away. Run away. Aussie Kiwi sideways. No, thank you. And then Kiwi CAD. Rubbish. All right, cool. So here we go. Watch list. All right, let's talk dollar yen. So dollar yen, what you're looking to do is, if you're in this currently, let's change the template. Change them to weekly. Okay. So if you got it over here, okay, cool. Then, and you can see there that supports, oh, it's a 21 EMA. It's a 21 EMA play. So I'll just do this rather. Okay, 21 EMA play. And what you're looking for is you're just going to look at the M15 chart. And maybe you get a lower low, lower high. This scalps over. Okay. It's no longer bullish. So that's what you're paying attention to. You're paying attention to like price breaking levels like that. Or price breaking all the way down and pulling back to levels like this. However it forms, of course, things will change as the day progresses, but ultimately you're looking for any indication like the opposite of this. This is how you got in, you're looking to get out in the exact same way. And then in terms of your Euro Kiwi, you're looking for lower lows and lower highs. What you want to do is just make sure on the Euro Kiwi that you keep an eye on your H4 time frame. Just make sure that price doesn't close the support. I don't see any support up here. You've got support left-hand side. You can see there, that's really what's busy playing at the moment. That's why I'm saying that level there, you break that level and you've got your, you may come back up for a lower high, and that could potentially be bearish if you just verify it down the line. Cool. So when we're looking for this to like sort of there, okay? But again, verify, 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 verify bearishness, which means 21 below 55, lower low, lower high. Okay, cool. So we'll leave that in our watch list to see where it is tomorrow, well, later on, when we get together later. In the meantime, stay patient, stay disciplined, stay liquid, and have a great day. Cheers.